lantern. Mike, turn off your video game. We are going to watch a slideshow.
I can't hear you. You'll have to speak louder.
Mike, you've been playing for 3 hours already. Are you going to keep playing those night games for the rest of your life?
No, not all my life. I'm still little, but one day I'll become a knight. For real. I'll fight monsters, you'll see.
So you've got everything planned out, huh? I think Mom might have something to say about that, though. In fact, that's just like the slideshow we're going to watch right now. A famous medieval legend. Switching on the magic lantern. Percival and his mother. Based on a tale of chivalry. Once upon a time, long ago, the Queen Herselida gave birth to a new baby boy named Percival.
Is this really about knights?
Yes, be quiet, Mike. On that same day, Percival's father went to fight their enemies. He was a knight, and he cannot live without battles.
Did you hear that? We can't live without battles. That's the way knights are.
Percelida waited for her brave knight to return for many days. But the battles lasted longer than before, and he never came home.
I'm not coming back either, so you'll have to do without me, you know?
The queen took little Percival and left the palace forever, so that he would never become a knight and leave to battle, like his father before him.
He couldn't become a knight? That's not fair.
From then on, Percival lived in a forest. He didn't know there were such things like castles and knights, but he could easily shoot pine cones from a slingshot.
He couldn't even play video games about knights?
One day, Percival was playing in the forest when he heard stomping. There in the clearing was a horseman in shining armor and with a sword. Percival thought he was sleeping and having a beautiful dream. He had never met a horseman in his entire life.
He has his mom to thank for that one. That's all her fault, you know.
The horseman explained that he was not a dream, but a regular knight, and that he was going to King Arthur in Camelot. That's what all the horsemen did.
I want to go to Camelot too.
Percival told his mom, "I'm going to King Arthur too. Give me a horse and a suit of armor."
All right, good for him.
But Herselida decided to cheat. She gave her son a donkey instead of a horse, a pot instead of a helmet, and a fishing net instead of the chain armor.
That looks funny.
So what if the other knights make fun of him, thought Herselida. At least my son will come back home to me, safe and sound.
She's so sly! You can't do that to your own son.
Percival put on his suit of armor and went to see King Arthur. All of the knights burst out laughing. They called him the Knight of the Pots.
It's not his fault. It's his mom's fault.
Percival was patient at first, but then he couldn't take it anymore. He took out his slingshot and started shooting pine cones everywhere.
Not how knights do it, but it works.
Suddenly, all the knights realized that they should not be making fun of Percival, and they agreed to make him a knight. King Arthur gave Percival an actual horse and a real sword.
He showed them.
Percival was so happy, he went to fight the enemies right away. He did it so well that soon the people started writing legends about Percival and his adventures.
People will write legends about me too, Kate. You'll see.
And Herselida had to accept the fact that her son had become a knight. She started collecting the legends about Percival and wrote them down in one book. It filled up so quickly and got so big it could barely stay closed.
Kate, will you write down legends about me?
You can write it down yourself.
No way, Kate. A knight writing about his own heroic deeds? That's That's just wrong. Plus, I don't even know how to write.
Magic lantern. Okay, Mike, turn off the video game. We are going to watch a slideshow.
I want to play. I earned so many bonuses. I'm not about to share them with anyone right now.
You won't share it even with friends?
No! I need all these bonuses for myself.
Amazing. Well, in that case, we'll watch a slideshow about what happens when you don't share things with friends. Switching on the magic lantern. The Little Island of Shipwreck, based on a book by Alexander Belya. One day, Reginald got really bored. So he decided to go on an ocean voyage to entertain himself.
When I feel bored, I play video games, that's all.
Mike, you also play video games when you're happy, which means that you're pretty much playing them all the time. Beautiful Viviana was traveling in the cabin next to his. Let's be bored together, said Reginald. All right, agreed Viviana.
Is it possible to be bored together?
It just depends on who you're with at the time. It sure is with you. One night, a terrible hurricane approached, and the ship started to sink. All the passengers and the crew got into boats and sailed away. But Reginald and Viviana were still asleep in their cabins.
What about the captain? Isn't he supposed to be the last to leave the ship?
The next to last. Now just keep watching. When they went out on the deck, there was no one left there. And the half-sunk ship was drifting in the sea. No one will save us, cried Viviana.
Will they be saved?
Keep watching, don't interrupt. Then they saw a small island in the distance. We're saved! Viviana and Reginald were happy.
Phew!
It was the strangest island in the world. It consisted of half-sunken ships, all gathered together by the current, right in the middle of the ocean.
Hold on! I thought all the islands were made of sand.
Not all of them, as you can see. Sailors from all over the world lived on that island. Sailor Slayton was the leader there. He declared himself the king of the island.
If this guy is a king, where is his crown?
In the lobby on a hanger. Keep watching. Welcome to my kingdom, said Slayton. Would you like to eat some raw fish? I can't eat raw fish, said beautiful Viviana.
I can't eat fish either. Only if it's sushi.
Slayton looked angrily at beautiful Viviana. He said, "You will be my wife!" Viviana protested. "I will not!" Reginald added, "She will not!" Slayton ordered, "Put him in the hold!" And Reginald was tied and thrown into the hold.
Why did they tie him up? Because he wouldn't eat raw fish?
Mr. Reginald was able to untie the ropes, but the door of the hold was locked. Reginald started throwing around the barrels that were put along the walls of the hold. Maybe there's another exit here.
Kate, what's in the barrels anyway?
Keep watching. There were candies and cookies in the barrels. That's what King Slayton is eating. Behind one of the barrels, there was a secret passage, and Reginald climbed up on the deck from the hold. Mike, you would probably eat all the candies first.
You would eat them too.
He found the beautiful Viviana, and they climbed into an old boat in order to get away from the island. Catch them! Cried Slayton.
Hang on, Reginald! We're rooting for you!
Slayton is lying to you, yelled Reginald. He gives you raw fish to eat, and he himself eats candies and cookies. So the sailors rushed back to attack Slayton.
Hurry up, you guys! Get to the hold! The candies are there!
Reginald and Viviana got home safe and sound. Since then, they've never been bored. Do you understand now that you have to share things with friends?
Yes, I do.
Will you share things with me?
No.
Why not?
You're my sister. And they didn't say anything about sisters in the slideshow.
Magic lantern. Mike, no more video games. We're going to watch a slideshow.
Kate, I want to keep playing for a bit. I'm still a little kid.
Well, don't you want to be a big man?
No, I don't. It's hard to be a big man. Let everyone else grow up. I want to always be little.
That's great. So in that case, we're going to watch a slideshow about being little among big people. Switching on the magic lantern. Gulliver in the Land of Giants. Based on a book by Jonathan Swift. Once upon a time, Captain Gulliver boarded a ship. He was going to travel all the way around the world, buying exotic things.
And who's little here?
Be patient, Mike. You'll find out. Suddenly, a terrible storm hit, and the wind carried the ship to unknown seas and oceans. We're going to be lost at sea, the sailors cried.
Ah, I see. The sailors behave like little kids.
Well, not just the sailors. But soon, the wind calmed down, and everyone saw the land. Land ho! Shouted the sailors, though you could already tell without them shouting that.
Kate, before they reached the land, did they go up there and shout, "Water ho"?
Mike, just knock it off. The crew went ashore, so they could fill up on supplies of fresh water and food.
Did they go shopping or what?
Gulliver also went to the shore and sat down on the sand to have some rest. When he woke up, he saw that his crew was swimming to the ship in terror, having forgotten about their captain. But what had happened?
Kate, what happened?
You'll find out soon. Suddenly, Gulliver saw a huge giant standing there. The giant reached down and grabbed Gulliver and lifted him up closer to his eyes so that he could see him better.
Whoa, he's so big.
The giant really liked Gulliver, so he decided that he would take him home and show him off to his family.
That's some family. They're all big.
The giant put Gulliver on the table. The giant's daughter clapped her hands with joy. He's so lovely! I'm going to play with him.
You could probably go deaf from those claps.
The giant's daughter put Gulliver in a dollhouse and dressed him up in some of her favorite doll's clothes.
He's a captain. You can't do that to a captain, can you?
He's a captain for some, but for others, he's only just a little doll. Gulliver had to drink tea with china dolls all day long. Or he had to try on many paper hats in front of the mirror.
I thought those are supposed to be for girls.
But at least they fed Gulliver with the best food. And besides, 1 grain was enough for him to be full. And he could actually eat 1 potato for a whole week.
You might lose your appetite if you had to live like that.
One day, the giant's daughter went out for a walk, and she decided to take Gulliver in his dollhouse with her.
You can't take that kind of toy on a walk. What if you lost it?
Right, keep watching. All of a sudden, a giant eagle snatched the doll's house and took it to the clouds. But it couldn't hold it in its claws and dropped it right into the sea.
What did I tell you?
Gulliver's house drifted with the waves and came across Gulliver's ship and its crew.
That was really lucky.
The sailors were very happy to find their captain and to see that he was safe and sound. And Gulliver wasn't mad at them at all for leaving him behind. All's well that ends well. And this story ended well.
It must have felt good to be big again.
What about you, Mike? Have you changed your mind about staying little?
I have. Now I decided that I want to be big, or else you'll make me wear doll's hats just like Gulliver. I know how you are, you giant.
Magic Lantern. Mike, turn off the video game. I found such an amazing slideshow.
Really, Kate? But I just started playing.
Sure, just started. You've been playing for 2 hours.
Okay, then let's do this. You give me your candy, and I'll turn off the game. Deal?
Deal. But I have a condition too. You'll only eat that candy after you watch the slideshow, okay? Switching on the Magic Lantern. The Adventures of Dr. Blood. Based on a book by Raphael Sabatini. One day, Dr. Blood was sitting at home and reading a book about pirates.
Is your candy the kind with filling?
Yes, of course it is. Now just keep watching. Suddenly, he heard screams. Help! Help!
Chocolate filling?
Yes, chocolate filling. Watch! Dr. Blood put the book aside, picked up his little medicine bag, and rushed to help.
I get the whole box?
Yes, all of it. Don't worry about it. The man that was screaming was wearing a black eye patch. The one-eyed man complained that he had a toothache.
I had a toothache too.
Dr. Blood took a solution from his bag and poured it into the man's mouth.
He's lucky. They had to drill mine.
Hooray! The pain is magically gone, cried the one-eyed man. Now you will come with me.
This one-eyed man is so mean.
I am not coming, protested Dr. Blood. Yes, you are, said the one-eyed man and pulled out 2 guns.
Oh, that's interesting.
The one-eyed man turned out to be a cruel pirate, and he brought Dr. Blood onto his ship.
So it's about pirates! Why didn't you say so in the first place?
During the day, the one-eyed man would attack different cities, stealing candy from their citizens and eating them.
That's what I'm gonna be when I grow up.
And in the evening, Dr. Blood would cure his toothaches.
Wait, he has a toothache because of candy? I kind of don't want to be a pirate anymore.
A long time passed. All that time, Dr. Blood thought about how he could outsmart the one-eyed man. One day, the one-eyed man left the ship so he could discuss things with some other pirates. Dr. Blood took over the steering wheel and steered the ship so that it headed directly for his hometown.
That's it, I'll be a doctor. Except on a pirate ship.
Pirates! Cried the townspeople when they saw the pirate ship, and they ran away in fear.
Now he's going to rob them too.
Captain Blood waved at them. I'm not a pirate. I'm a doctor. As proof, Dr. Blood went down into the hold, took all the candy that the one-eyed man had been storing there, and passed them out to the townspeople.
Don't eat them. You're just gonna get a toothache.
The townspeople ate all the candy, and by the evening, they all got toothaches.
I warned you.
Dr. Blood cured all the townspeople, and they all believed that he was a real doctor. And they weren't afraid of him anymore. And really, you should be afraid of candy and not doctors. The end. So, should I go get the candy now?
Well...
A whole box with lots of chocolate filling?
No, forget about that, Kate. Let's watch another slideshow instead.
Magic lantern. Okay, Mike, enough playing video games. Let's watch a slideshow.
Kate, you never let me play. I don't know why people need to have sisters anyway.
For some people, a sister can be their whole life.
That can't be true. Life's 100 times better without sisters.
You don't believe me? Then right now, we're gonna watch a slideshow about little Ariel. And you'll see it for yourself. Switching on the magic lantern. Little Ariel, based on a book by Alexander Belyaev. Little Ariel and June lived in India. They lost their parents when they were little, and good people took them in.
It's lucky that they were good people and not evil ones.
Ariel was taken in by an old woman named Leela. But Leela was very poor, and it was very hard for her to feed a second child.
I'm easy to feed. I eat very little.
And you eat only candy. So June was taken in by foreign fruit merchants. They fed June and took her with them to an unknown village, which was very far away.
And they didn't leave their address?
Yeah, that's the problem. Leela took care of Ariel as if she was his real mother. She made tasty pancakes for him, which he ate with milk.
And is the milk foamy? I don't like it when it has foam in it.
Soon, Ariel grew up, and Leela told him that he had a sister, June, who lived somewhere in a faraway village. One day, I will find my sister, and we will live together as one happy family.
What if she turns out to be mean? Like, she doesn't let him play video games.
They didn't have video games at that time, Mike. Ariel said goodbye to Leela and went to look for June.
And Leela let him go by himself?
Most likely, Ariel was already independent. Not like some people here, who can't tie their own shoelaces.
Does Ariel have shoelaces?
Ariel asked about her in every village he went to, but no one could help him.
No.
Kate, how is he going to find her? She's changed a lot since then. She grew up.
He could just ask for her by her name. One day, Ariel met an old fakir named Johar. Johar said he didn't know anything about June, but that he could help.
Kate, what's a fakir?
A fakir is someone like a magician. Fakir Johar started teaching Ariel, and soon, Ariel could walk on hot coals and sit on nails. But most importantly, he learned how to fly.
I want to fly too. But then do I also have to sit on hot coals?
Fakirs sit on nails and walk on hot coals. Got it?
Ah.
Ariel could levitate and fly over trees and houses.
Don't you have to flap your arms?
No, you don't. Now, Ariel could go to the furthest villages, but he never found June anywhere. One day, Ariel was caught in a heavy rain. Rivers rose and flooded all the surroundings. People were trying to save themselves by climbing to the roofs of their houses.
Kate, do we have floods here?
We do if you leave the tap running. A girl pulled 2 children out of the water. But then she fell into it herself and started drowning. She couldn't swim.
Oh no! Help! Hurry!
Ariel sprang into action and saved her. "What is your name?" asked the noble girl. "Ariel. And yours?" "My name is June," she said.
Whoa, June! Kate, it was really her!
It was June, his sister June. Ariel was so happy. Ariel decided to stay there. He taught June how to fly. On Saturdays, they visited Leela or Johar to eat tasty pancakes or to fly together. Well, Mike, any comments?
All right. It's good to have a sister, too. Things are a lot more fun if you do them together. If you got lost, I'd look for you, too.
That's nice of you, Mike. But I won't get lost. You don't have to worry. And don't you wish for it either. Magic Lantern. Mike, turn off the video game. We're going to watch a slideshow.
Why do you always boss me around?
Because I'm older. Also, Mom says it's fine.
You're lucky. I want to be older, too. I want to boss someone around, and I want to play as much as I can, and I want to go to bed late.
Are you jealous? You shouldn't be. You know what they say, jealousy never leads to anything good. Now you'll see it for yourself. Switching on the Magic Lantern. The Prisoner of If Island, based on a book by Alexander Dumas. Young Count of Monte Cristo was the happiest man in the world. He had friends, a ship, and a girlfriend he loved very much.
Lucky guy, he's got a ship.
But he also had enemies. The tailor Jacques, the fisherman Jean, and the bookkeeper Auguste. They were very jealous of how happy the Count always seemed to be.
Lucky guy, everyone's jealous of him.
One day, the enemies decided to get rid of the Count. The evil plan was ready. The tailor Jacques invited the Count of Monte Cristo to go fishing along with the others on If Island.
Lucky them, they got to go fishing.
While the Count was fishing, Jacques, Jean, and Auguste got into the boat and set off from the island.
Lucky him, he caught a lot of fish.
The Count thought that his enemies would come back for him. But then he realized that they were not going to. And he was very sad.
Lucky him, he gets to live on an island.
The Count of Monte Cristo tried to swim back, but there were a lot of sharks in the sea, so he became a prisoner of If Island.
Lucky him, there are sharks there.
The Count was about to cry in despair. Suddenly, he saw footsteps in the sand. Was he not alone on the island?
Lucky him, footsteps.
A geography teacher by the name of Faria lived on If Island. He had come there many years ago so that he could map the island, and he decided to stay there.
Lucky him.
Stop repeating lucky him, lucky him. Are you jealous of them? Faria even had a boat, but it was old and had holes in it. While the Count was fixing it, Faria told him lots of wonderful stories about different exotic countries.
I'm jealous because they don't have such a mean older sister like I do.
Soon, the boat was ready. The Count said goodbye to the geography teacher and went home.
Is that the end?
No, Mike, it's just the beginning. When the Count of Monte Cristo got home, he started thinking about how he could teach Jacques, Jean, and Auguste a lesson so that they would never do such an awful thing again.
So what is he going to do to them?
The Count glued a fake mustache to his face so that no one could recognize him. And then he went to invite Jacques, Jean, and Auguste to go fishing with him.
He really went fishing once more?
Jacques, Jean, and Auguste didn't recognize the Count of Monte Cristo and happily agreed to go fishing. So he took them on his boat to If Island.
Again with If Island?
When they got to the island, the Count peeled off his mustache and said, "Now you will know how it feels to be a prisoner." Then he left them there.
Oh, I get it now. The Count did exactly what they did to him, right, Kate? That was a good plan.
Life on the island had a positive effect on Jacques, Jean, and Auguste. They became kinder. And thanks to teacher Faria, they became really good at geography.
And they stopped being jealous.
Then the Count brought Jacques, Jean, and Auguste home. Then he prepared his ship, and off he went, traveling to many exotic countries.
Lucky!
Again?
I'm just saying, the Count of Monte Cristo's lucky ship is gonna take him to a lot of exotic places.
Magic Lantern. Mike, turn off the video game. The slideshow is starting soon.
Shush, don't disturb me. I'm solving a riddle here with a deductive method.
Deductive, huh? Are you looking for evidence?
Yeah, evidence. It's so interesting. I've solved 2 riddles already.
Really? 2? Then I'll give you a 3rd one. How about you and I use the deductive method together? Switching on the magic lantern. Dr. Jekyll and a Monkey Named Hyde. Based on a book by Robert Louis Stevenson. Dr. Jekyll worked in a pharmacy and made different mixtures all the time.
I'm gonna solve your riddle right away.
We'll see about that, my colleague. We'll see. One night, a loud moaning came from the doctor's house. All the neighbors woke up, ran to their windows to see what the noise was.
It's elementary, Kate. Did you see the mirror? Who likes to look at themselves in the mirror? Parrots! Who else? The doctor got himself a parrot, and then he taught it to moan. So everyone thought it was a person.
In the morning, the neighbors asked the doctor, "Who was making all that noise at your place last night?" "No one," said the doctor, and shrugged.
See? He almost confessed.
The next night, once again, the neighbors heard that same moaning coming from Dr. Jekyll's house. And this time, they also saw a strange shadow with horns.
A shadow with horns? Oh, well, the doctor put on a hat with horns so that the parrot would be scared and not try to peck him. Everything makes sense.
Mysterious things began happening all around the street where the doctor lived. Sometimes, all the flowers in a single flower bed would be eaten.
Yeah, don't you get it? Parrots like to eat flowers.
Or 3 bunches of bananas would disappear from the fruit merchant's store.
Well, parrots also like bananas. A lot.
In the end, the neighbors couldn't take it anymore. "Confess," they said to the doctor. "You are hiding some animals in your home."
They don't know what they're talking about.
No, said the doctor. "You can come and check." He invited them to come inside his house. However, there were no animals there.
How come there were no animals? And where's the parrot? Was I wrong about that part?
So the neighbors decided to have people stand guard every night so they could find the culprit.
Okay, I'll give it another try.
Then, at the stroke of midnight, a little monkey jumped out of the doctor's window. "Look, there you are!" cried the neighbors. "We knew it!"
A monkey? Of course, it's a monkey! I noticed the footsteps on the flower bed.
The neighbors ran after the monkey, and the monkey climbed up a lamppost.
I told you, your riddle is so easy.
But suddenly, the monkey started turning into a human right in front of the neighbors. And after a few moments, the neighbors saw who it really was. It was Dr. Jekyll who was now sitting on top of the lamppost.
My deductive method is really confused.
"I will explain everything," he said, and climbed down. "I made a mixture," he explained. "It can help you turn into any animal. Last week, it was a cow by the name of Matilda. And today, it's a monkey named Hyde.
Wow, that's some riddle.
You should do that as a circus act," said the neighbors in awe.
That's a great idea. I would go see that show.
From that moment on, the doctor started performing in the circus. And, of course, the neighbors always got front row seats. For free, too. That's it. The end.
How do you know that?
It's elementary, my dear Mike. I know it because I was using the deductive method. Magic lantern. Mike, turn off the video game. We're going to watch a slideshow.
No, Kate, I can't yet. I just started playing here.
Well, then in that case, you can just finish right now. I told you that you have to stop playing.
Look who's being bossy. If you keep bossing me around, I'll tell Mom.
No, I'm the one who's going to tell Mom that Mike is growing up to be a really naughty boy, and a spoiled one as well, just like a character in our slideshow. Switching on the magic lantern. Naughty Phaethon, based on a story of ancient Greece. Little Phaethon was the son of the Greek god of the sun, Helios. Needless to say, he was a spoiled boy, and he was very naughty.
So why does that mean I'm spoiled and naughty? I just like to play my video games.
Every morning, Helios would drive the sun across the sky on a fiery chariot, and Phaethon would ride behind him on a donkey.
How cool! I want to ride it too!
But Phaethon wasn't interested in riding a donkey. In fact, he wanted to drive across the sky in the fiery chariot, just like his father.
Of course! That's even more exciting than playing a video game!
Then, Phaethon started to beg Helios. Dad, let me ride in your chariot with you. Can I? Please?
So that is why he's spoiled? I mean, wouldn't you ask if you were him?
Phaethon kept asking, so Helios finally gave in. Okay, you can ride with me, but do not touch anything.
See, his dad is very kind. I'm not so lucky with my relatives.
The next morning, they flew across the sky, together on the chariot. Phaethon was extremely happy. The chariot was ablaze, and the horses all sparkled like magical fireworks.
Whoa, so beautiful!
But Phaethon was not satisfied. He started to beg his father again. Dad, please, can I ride the chariot across the sky by myself?
Hey, I wonder, you think that chariot has a horn on it?
But Helios became very firm. No way. You're too little to ride across the sky by yourself.
Here we go. Too little. All adults are exactly the same, even the ones from ancient Greece.
But Phaethon was a naughty boy. And one night, shortly after Helios fell asleep, Phaethon ran to the sky and jumped into the chariot.
He did the right thing. He can't wait till he grows up.
Phaethon pulled the reins. The horses neighed and rushed forward.
Woohoo!
People ran out into the street in surprise. What's going on? The sun is in the sky in the middle of the night.
Yeah, they're jealous.
The horses were also surprised, so they ran not across the sky as usual, but straight down towards the earth.
Now his friends will be surprised.
The earth burst into flames. The rivers began to boil, and the mountains slowly began to melt, just like butter.
Hurry up! Someone help them!
Help! Cried Phaethon. I'll never do it again! Good thing that Zeus, the main god among all Greek gods, heard his cry. Zeus instantly put out the fire and put everything on Earth in order as it was before.
I can just imagine his dad was very angry at him. Everyone back in ancient Greece probably heard him yelling that day too.
Since then, Phaethon became very obedient. You couldn't even tell that his father is a Greek god. So, are you going to listen to me now?
First, you should learn how to drive across the sky. And then, we can talk.
Magic Lantern. Mike, turn off the video game. We're going to watch a slideshow.
No, Kate, I can't do it now. First, I need to try and defeat all the monsters.
Ah,
What?
you're a hero?
Of course. What'd you expect? You finally realized that, huh?
I also realized that our hero is sitting and playing video games all day long. Put away the controller before I turn into a monster myself. Okay, switching on the magic lantern. Heroic Perseus, based on a story of ancient Greece. Ever since Perseus was born, he was a real Greek hero. He was strong, handsome, and kind. People loved him.
Hey, it's as if he was drawn to look like me. Look, we have kind of the same noses.
But he also had enemies. One time, a wicked king, Polydectes, decided to kill Perseus.
Oh, he's so mean. He just wants to kill him?
Polydectes called the hero and told him, "I always wanted to see the Gorgon Medusa. Bring her to me for my collection."
Oh, that's easy. A Medusa is it's a kind of jellyfish.
It was not easy to bring the Gorgon Medusa to the king. She lived on the edge of the world. She also could turn people to stone with just one glance.
Oh, maybe Medusa means something different in ancient Greece.
Perseus got really sad because he understood what Polydectes was planning. But since he was a hero, he had to go there.
No, he didn't. My teacher taught us a real important lesson. That you don't need to be like everybody else, and you should always think for yourself.
Suddenly, the Greek goddess Athena appeared before Perseus. She brought him some wonderful gifts. Sandals with wings and a bright golden shield.
Well, doing good deeds is okay too, especially if you get gifts for it.
Perseus thanked her, put on the sandals, and the next moment, he found himself at the edge of the world, right in the cave where the Gorgon Medusa lived.
He should have flown to the amusement park. Or maybe the zoo.
Perseus looked inside the cave and gasped. This Gorgon was a hideous monster. Her body was covered with scales, and she had real snakes instead of hair.
I don't like your stories, Kate. Now I'm not going to be able to sleep for a whole week.
And there was a whole army of stone heroes. Medusa had turned them to stone with her gaze. Perseus certainly didn't want to join those ranks.
But he's gonna become one of them if he doesn't hurry up and get out of there.
Perseus turned away from Medusa, took out his shield, and started to look into it as if it was a mirror. He stood with his back to Medusa, but he could see everything. And Medusa couldn't turn Perseus to stone.
Wow, talk about being smart.
Perseus walked up to Medusa, grabbed her, put her in a bag, and flew back home on his sandals with wings.
That's it? That's his good deeds? I did 3 times as many good deeds as that guy did. Actually, more like 4 times.
Perseus returned to Polydectes, who was really surprised that Perseus was alive and well, but he didn't show it. "Well, did you bring me the Gorgon Medusa?"
What's his name? Polydoctor should try it himself before laughing at others.
"Of course I did." And Perseus took the Gorgon Medusa out of the bag. "Here she is. Look at her."
Oh, Kate, don't look at it. If you do, you're gonna turn to stone.
Polydectes looked at Medusa and turned to stone right away. He didn't even make a sound.
Good job, Perseus. Show him what heroes are made of.
And Perseus continued to do good deeds, fighting with monsters and saving girls who needed his help. And Medusa was very useful to him.
Hold on, he saves girls? That's nothing to be proud of.
And for all his deeds, the Greek gods decided to move Perseus to the sky in the form of a constellation, which means now we can all admire the hero.
Now you see how lucky you are?
Why's that?
Well, we can admire Perseus only during the night, but we can admire Hero Mike all day long. That means you have to admire me. I don't mind that at all.
Magic Lantern. Okay, Mike, turn off the video game. We're going to watch a slideshow.
Your slideshows are really boring. They're just for girls.
They are not just for girls. There are a lot of different monsters in them.
Just what do you know about monsters?
Actually, I've been living with a little monster for over 5 years now, who just happens to like to play video games. You'll learn about monsters whether you want to or not. Okay, switching on the Magic Lantern. Labyrinth of the Minotaur, based on a story of ancient Greece. People say that there were a lot of monsters in ancient Greece, and the most frightening and bloodthirsty among them was the Minotaur, a giant with the head of a bull.
He's not scary at all, this monster of yours.
The Minotaur lived on the island of Crete. He made his home in a massive labyrinth. Those who dared to walk into the labyrinth were unable to ever find their way back.
You think that's scary? It's not scary. Not scary a bit.
And every year, on the command of the Minotaur, King Minos of Crete sent 7 of the most beautiful young girls and boys to the labyrinth.
I don't think that's scary at all. Hey, Kate, can I sit a little closer to you? Huh?
One day, a hero by the name of Theseus came to see King Minos. "I'll go. Send me to the Minotaur," he proclaimed, "and I'll try to defeat him."
How can he defeat him?
"Sure, go on," answered Minos, "but nobody has ever returned from there." "I'll return," Theseus bravely replied.
Where is he going? Don't go that way! The monster's over there!
King Minos' daughter, the beautiful Ariadne, overheard this conversation. So, she decided to help the brave Theseus. Ariadne went to the hero and gave him a spool of thread.
A spool of thread? I told you that girls don't know anything about monsters.
"Why do I need thread?" Theseus was confused. "I'm going to fight the Minotaur, not sew something."
It's pointless to talk to her.
And Ariadne explained that he should tie one end of the thread to the labyrinth's entrance and unreel the spool as he goes. Then he could use the thread to find his way back.
Wow, that's really smart.
Ariadne helped Theseus to tie the thread and gave him carrots in case he got hungry. She also gave him a little bell on a rope so he wouldn't be bored.
Okay, I agree. You need the thread. But giving him carrots and a bell? That doesn't make any sense.
Theseus walked and walked and walked. Suddenly, he heard a horrifying roar, and at the same moment, the Minotaur jumped out from around the corner.
Kate, hurry and put up the next slide. If I keep looking at this, it'll give me nightmares.
Theseus didn't even have time to blink because the Minotaur attacked him almost the very second he got there.
Poor guy.
Theseus went to pull out his sword, and instead, he was holding carrots in his arm, not the sword.
Why did she give him carrots? Told you it was a bad idea, didn't I?
The Minotaur saw the carrots and suddenly became as obedient as a calf. Of course, the carrots are delicious and healthy. Then, Theseus placed the bell around the Minotaur's neck and led the way back out of the labyrinth.
Oh, phew. They all lived.
Theseus followed the thread that Ariadne gave him, and soon they were both near the exit.
Good job, Theseus.
Right then, Theseus asked Ariadne if she wanted to get married. She was beautiful and a smart girl.
The idea with the thread was really smart.
Ariadne agreed to his proposal, and the two of them were soon married. And the Minotaur became very fond of Theseus and Ariadne, and sometimes, when the children were near, he would even let them ring his bell.
Yes, this Ariadne did a really good job. Okay, Kate, show me your next boring slideshow that's meant for girls to watch.
Okay, little monster. Magic Lantern. Mike, turn off the video game. We're going to watch a slideshow.
But Kate, one more second and I'll turn it off.
1 second, you said? Okay, as you wish. 1, 2. Okay, that's it. Your second is up. Turn it off. You need to keep your promises. You know that.
That's not fair. You tricked me.
I didn't trick you. I outsmarted you. There's a big difference, you know. Switching on the magic lantern. Thor in Giantland, based on Norse epics. The Scandinavian god Thor defeated all the greatest giants in Scandinavia, all of them, except for the giants from Utgard, for they were by far the biggest and the most tricky.
Kate, seems like you're also a giant. You're big and tricky, just like those giants.
It's time to measure my strength against the giants from Utgard, decided Thor, and he got on a magic wagon and went to Utgard.
He's going to show you, giants.
Soon, Thor was before the gates of Utgard. The king of the giants, Skyrim, was already waiting for him there. He was so tall that his head touched the sky.
Oh, how can you defeat someone like that?
I know exactly who you are, said King Skyrim to Thor, but I don't know what you can do. Thor was really hungry, so he said, I can eat really fast.
Everybody can eat really fast, you know, as long as it's not oatmeal.
We shall now see. The king was excited. His servant brought out a huge dish of oatmeal.
Ugh, it had to be oatmeal.
Thor began to eat from one side and the servant from the other. Thor ate fast, but in the same amount of time, the servant was able to eat his half of the oatmeal. The whole dish itself, and even the spoon.
Wow, he's so greedy.
But Thor didn't give up. I also can drink a lot, he said. Very well, agreed Skyrim, and ordered his cup brought out.
Come on, Thor! You can do it! These giants think they know everything.
Thor began to drink from the cup. He was drinking, but was only able to get through half the cup. That meant he lost again.
He's not doing so good.
Thor was angry. I also can defeat giants, he said. Giants? Skyrim laughed. First, you should try to defeat my old nanny.
Oh, he could do that with his hands tied behind his back. I'll bet that nanny is really old.
Skyrim called for his nanny. She grabbed a hold of Thor, shook him a few times, and then made him kneel down on one knee.
She probably has a black belt in karate.
Thor realized that he couldn't beat the giants from Utgard. He became really upset and was getting ready to go home.
Something is just not right here. I'm telling you, these giants are up to something.
Thor had barely stepped out of the gate when Skyrim caught up with him. Don't be upset, Thor, he said. You actually won all of the challenges.
And why is that?
How come? Thor was surprised. Listen, the servant who ate the oatmeal with you, it was fire itself. Nobody can eat more than fire, but you almost caught up with it.
I knew it! They are so tricky!
And the water in my cup, that was the ocean. No one could possibly drink all of it. But you actually drank half of the water in my cup.
Good job, Thor! I knew that I could believe in you.
And my nanny is old age itself. She takes everybody down. But You went down only on one knee.
And she also has a black belt in karate. Remember that.
And after hearing all that, Thor realized that he really was the strongest. But as for being the trickiest, he could learn a lot from the giants of Utgard.
That's all? The end? I want to watch more.
Yes, well...
You said yes, well. The first word is the one that counts, so it means you said yes. See, I outsmarted you. So go on, switch on your magic lantern.
Magic lantern. Mike, turn off the video game. We're going to watch a slideshow.
Are you back here already? I figured that you were probably still just sitting around in your music school.
Just sitting around? I'll have you know my music school is at least 100 times more interesting than your video game.
I don't get how music could be that interesting anyway. It's so boring, and just for girls.
Oh, boring, huh? Mike, turn off your video game. We're gonna learn a little about Toons. Now then, switching on the magic lantern. Rama, Sita, and a monkey called Hanuman. Based on an Indian epic. A long, long time ago, in a magical fairyland called India, lived a beautiful princess named Sita.
You always sing the same song. Magical fairyland with a beautiful princess.
It was time for Sita to get married. So her father announced, "My daughter will marry the man who can sing the most beautiful song."
Oh, wow! I guess her father really liked songs, huh? But I bet she didn't.
Mike, keep listening. In India, everybody loved to sing songs. Many suitors began gathering in the palace, and each of them had his own repertoire.
Kate, why is everybody singing? What is this, an opera?
Sita didn't like any of them. But then a young man came forward with a monkey on his shoulder. He was a prince named Rama, and his monkey was named Hanuman.
Well, now I'm also going to sing. Magic lantern, I started snoring. This is also very boring.
Rama started to sing, and the monkey began to dance. They did it so beautifully that everybody started to dance, including Sita and her father.
This story is getting really weird. Dancing monkeys have now appeared.
Rama and Sita got married the same day. It was a very happy day, and only an evil wizard named Ravana was not happy.
He also doesn't like your opera.
Ravana also wanted to marry Sita, but unfortunately for him, he couldn't sing. So, the next day, he just abducted the beautiful Sita.
Now Rama is going to dance. Oh, wait, he's already singing and dancing all the time.
Rama was desperate. Where could he find Sita? "I'll help you," someone suddenly said. Rama looked around, but there was nobody there. Just he and his monkey.
You see? Now he started to hear strange voices in his head.
"I'm your monkey, Hanuman." It appeared that Hanuman was not a regular monkey. He was a son of the great god of wind, and so he could fly.
A singing monkey? That's so cool!
Hanuman put Rama on his shoulders, and they flew into the air.
Let's fly!
Soon, Hanuman and Rama found an island where the beautiful Sita was languishing in loneliness.
I think she's hiding there from Rama's songs.
The evil wizard Ravana was waiting for Rama on the island. In each of his 20 hands, he was holding a sharp sword.
Yes! Finally a real fight!
It won't be easy for Rama to defeat this giant. Suddenly, Hanuman winked at Rama and started to dance.
Oh no, you mean more dancing? I think they planned this.
Rama understood everything and started to sing his most cheerful song. Ravana went to attack Rama, but his legs just started to dance. Ravana couldn't do anything. He kept dancing, waving his 20 swords, until he fell exhausted.
I get it. It wasn't a dance. It was a trick for the battle.
Rama took Sita home, where they lived happily ever after. And the monkey named Hanuman lived with them happily ever after too. So, Mike, were these songs interesting?
Show me more from the magic lantern.
Mike, stop singing. I can't listen anymore.
I won't stop singing till you show me more. I will sit right here on the floor.